Hello, everyone. My name is Moshe Nave, and I'm an SAP Community Advocate. Welcome to today's SAP Community Call about integration assessment, build and execute your enterprise integration strategy. We have Tushar and Gabriela, product managers for SAP Integration Suite. Gabriela, please take it away.
Thank you, Moshe. Thank you very much for the introduction, and very welcome to this session. So my name is Gabriela Gazin, and today, together with my colleague Tushar Pradhan, we are talking about how to build and execute an enterprise integration strategy. Integrations are the key buildings to digital transformation. Intelligent enterprise is an integrated enterprise. So this is our standard disclaimer. And then I'm just going to the agenda. So first of all, I would like to provide you an overview on the integration assessment. Then Tushar, my colleague Tushar, will take over for a deep dive demo. Then we come back to our roadmap, what we have planned for the integration assessment capability. And then we are coming to the end with some key takeaways, and we can open for questions and answers. So first, the overview. The overview, we have to start with integration strategy at SAP. So integration is the foundation for intelligent enterprise, as said. In the last community calls, you have heard about the integration strategy paper already. So therefore, only just to point out again some important things. Integration is the key pillar and absolutely critical for the intelligent enterprise to deliver integrated end-to-end business processes across SAP partner and third-party applications. Also important to know is that we continue to harmonize our data objects and interfaces. And we have a proven integration methodology to help companies achieve the desired business outcomes based on best practices. Also important to mention is whenever it comes to mediated integration or interfaces don't map with each other, the SAP Integration Suite is the platform of choice. Integration assessment is a new capability of the SAP Integration Suite. It helps customers to take a systematic approach to design, document, and govern an integration technology strategy in their enterprise. An integration technology strategy is crucial when we have in mind how competitive the market is already and will be also in future, also stimulated by the pandemic. Customers will have more and more automation. These business processes span across multiple applications and personas. Therefore, especially in the design area, time to market is the key. A structured and governed approach is needed. With the integration solution advisory methodology, shortly ISAM, we have a proven methodology already in place. The integration assessment capability is a tool-based approach of this methodology and takes over key parts. It is designed to help customers and partners to shape, execute, and document an integration technology strategy. As the integration tool is based on key parts of the ISAM methodology, you know it already a bit. So if you're not familiar with ISAM, I will provide you a short introduction. Goal is to help customers to define and document an enterprise integration strategy and increase the integration maturity level in your organization. What is important to understand is that this methodology we offer is an open platform. This means the framework is technology and vendor agnostic. You can also apply to non-SAP technologies in hybrid environments. It comes with pre-delivered guiding content. This content can be adapted to include also non-SAP technologies. But of course, SAP is recommending own technologies. The methodology is defined by SAP more than a decade before. It is for free, very well adopted by customers and partners, and one of the advantages seen by analysts. It provides a guided approach on how you can adopt this methodology. First, we are starting with an assessment of the current integration strategy. Then we continue with the design of your hybrid integration platform. You can define integration best practices in the third phase. And in the fourth, it covers the organizational dimension of enterprise integrations. A best defined integration strategy doesn't help if not all developers and all teams don't buy into that. Let us have a look on the first phase of the methodology. As said, it is about the assessment of your current integration strategy, and you can define the scope of your integration requirements. We have a guided scoping approach in place for performing such an integration strategy assessment. First, we are looking on integration domains. These are typical integration areas in cloud and hybrid environments. You can select which ones are relevant for you as of today and also midterm, such as on-premise to cloud or cloud to on-premise, that's the same, cloud to cloud or user to cloud. The next level of detailing are the integration styles. These are the classical archetypes of integration. They are describing how applications are exchanging data amongst each other. As of now, SAM differentiates 5 integration styles: process integration, data integration, analytics, user, and thing integration. These are the classical categories. The methodology provides characteristics and decision criteria, which helps to identify what kind of integration styles are applicable for your integration requirements. On the third level of details, use case patterns are used. Have a look on the vertical dimension on the right graph. They are again vendor agnostic. Examples from the process integration style are A2A, B2B, or business to governance, so B2G. Common use case patterns we see in today's organization come along with specific integration requirements. For example, for B2B, you need to support of specific industry standards like EDIFACT, or your integration technology needs to support some industry technology protocols like AS2 or OFTP. Therefore, we have distinct integration use case patterns that require specific types of integration technologies. After performing this first phase, we have actually defined the scope of your integration requirements. In the second phase, you continue with the design of your hybrid integration platform. Here you actually map integration styles and use case patterns which are relevant for your organization to the respective integration technologies. This is not a one-to-one mapping. So for some, you need several technologies, and on the other hand, there are technologies that can serve various integration use case patterns. For example, SAP Integration Suite serves for integration use case patterns as A2A, B2B, APA-led integration, event-based integration, and so forth. But you have to keep in mind the customer context, to have this also into account during the performance of this second phase. Available skill sets depends on whether in-house expertise is in place or not. The overall integration architecture, such as if you have a cloud first strategy in place or an API first strategy. Next, you will define integration policies. These are kind of decision tables. The policies help to identify the right integration solution for a specific integration requirement. Here we see the example of a decision table for the process integration style. The Integration Suite, and especially its cloud integration capability, is recommended for cloud to on-premise or cloud to cloud integration. SAP Process Orchestration, on the other hand, for ground to ground integration. And ARF is recommended if S/4HANA or ERP is part of a pure on-premise or a hybrid integration scenario. By the way, This recommendation will change over time as we have on the roadmap a hybrid deployment option that comes with a new runtime that can be optionally deployed in a Kubernetes cluster on premise. So migration tools will be available and are already in a restricted beta phase. So these recommendations will change over time, and within integration assessment, you will be up to date all the time. After the second phase, we have mapped integration use case patterns to specific integration technologies. The third phase is about integration best practices that help to refine the technology mapping. We have defined a set of best practices with a methodology such as integration do's and don'ts. These are kind of golden rules to follow when designing or implementing an integration scenario. These kind of guardrails are for your integration developers. Really understand the priorities, the preferences regarding all integration developments. Next, we have architecture blueprints. Here you see an example of the digital integration hub. All the business technology platform services are also outlined together with the interaction amongst them. And these are complemented on the left side with characteristics and selections criteria. It provides also a concept for integration guidelines, like naming conventions or development standards. To developers, they have to follow. Last but not least, we have offered enterprise integration patterns with the cloud integration capability of SAP Integration Suite. They are published at the SAP API Business Hub, probably you know it already, and you can try them out easily and leverage them for your integration developments. The last phase of the methodology is covering the organization aspects. The goal is to enable a practice of empowerment while establishing an integration development community that includes also integration citizens with options for easy to develop self-service integrations and the possibility to get coached by the Integration Center of Excellence. So it's good to have an overview on the different roles and personas in your integration in your organization. And this fourth phase provides also food for thought on how to establish such kind of an Integration Center of Excellence. So that was, in a nutshell, an overview on the ISAM methodology. In the past, we have delivered for ISAM a PowerPoint template, and this is available for free for customers and partners, and we will continue to offer this. More than 2,500 customers and partners have adopted the methodology already successfully. But how to make sure that integration developers are using the recommended integration technologies and implement integration scenarios according to the defined integration strategy? How to continuously apply and monitor that all the integrations are according to these defined principles you have agreed on. Yes, so this is lacking here, and therefore we need a continuous governance. And that is the reason why we have introduced a new integration assessment capability this year. This is a tool-based approach of key parts of the ISAM methodology. You find the capability on the homepage of the Integration Suite, where you have also the other capabilities in place. Make use of the capability without any additional costs. You can simply activate the capability when the subscription is in place. And it is available in the multi-cloud environment, and it's included in the most usual subscriptions, so in the standard and premium edition of the SAP Integration Suite, and also with CPEA. So what is the scope of the integration assessment capability? This tool-based approach is covering key parts of ISAM to introduce integration governance and also to manage the hybrid integration platform. So mainly the first two phases that I've outlined. It is helping integration architects to define and document an integration technology strategy for their organization. In general, it covers integration technologies for all integration styles and is open to also include non-SAP integration. So the scope is not limited to the integration capabilities of SAP Integration Suite and is not limited to SAP technologies at all. The tool comes also with guiding content to define the integration architecture and also to introduce governance in customer organizations. So these are recommendations for integration technologies. We have started for the process and the data integration style. So the scope goes far beyond SAP Integration Suite, not only process orchestration, but also data integration. And we have the user integration in the roadmap. You can apply the content as it is, or you can modify it. It is also possible to define your own guiding content. For example, if you want to cover also third-party integration technologies. So it is an open methodology, it's an open framework, and you can adapt it as per your needs. You may extend the tool by custom-specific, for example, industry-specific config to truly cover your cloud and hybrid landscapes. With integration assessment, we also deliver SAP's predefined recommendations for using the various SAP integration technologies as ready-to-use content for a turnkey start. For helping customers and partners to introduce integration governance, we have also the possibility with the tool to identify the integration technology with the best fit to the specified integration requirements. So the tool provides you recommendations, and this in accordance to the defined integration strategy. When you make sure that all the integration technology decisions are documented in the tool, and you get over time, also insights in your integration landscapes and how the different applications are interconnected. This helps you to get an inventory of existing technologies and when they are used. So how to work now with this tool? With the help of integration assessment, you can enable an agile integration praxis with an improved collaboration amongst different personas that are using this tool. These are the integration architect, integration developer, and a business domain expert. So the integration architect is responsible for managing and maintaining the ISA-M master data. So in the first step, he or she would customize the integration strategy. So as the tool comes with ISA-M settings, these are the integration domains, styles, use case patterns, but also integration policies as outlined before. And these are mapped to the respective SAP integration technologies and the policies. All this configuration and setting has the integration architect has to maintain. This means we have classified our integration technologies, for which integration domains these are recommended to be used, which integration styles and use case patterns they support. And then down to the level of key characteristics, we have specified the fit of each integration technology. An integration architect can also build more advanced questionnaires for guiding integration developers to the right integration products. Another task of the integration architect is to configure the landscape information, what kind of SAP and non-SAP applications and also integration technologies we have in place in your landscape. So this task of an integration architect is more or less a one-off activity, but requires continuous maintenance. The next persona is a business domain expert. He or she has got an integration requirement from a business project. And now he or she leverage a high-level questionnaire, a so-called business solution request, to specify the requirements from a business perspective. So the business context, the sending and the receiving applications, the business criticality, and also the planned go-live date for this interface, for this integration. When all this is specified, the request is handed over to an integration developer. This integration developer is then walked through another questionnaire again. So what's new is within this tool, I've mentioned now a little bit often, are these questionnaires. These are part of our pre-delivered content. The questionnaire are used by business users and the integration developers, which helps to determine the technologies with the best fit to the specified needs. So the questionnaires can be customized by the integration architect, and further questionnaires can also be added by them. The integration developer can specify the requirement on a more technical level. So the business, on the business level, it is already done. After the handover, the integration developer would do it more from the technical perspective. A questionnaire on this level is called interface request, and different ones are available for the different integration styles. So we are using here for our area, process integration interface request, a questionnaire for that style. For example, in the questionnaire for this process integration style, the developer is asked which connectors are required, what kind of transformation are needed, is a mediation necessary or not? Do you want to leverage predefined integration packs from the API Business Hub? And whether he wants also to exchange messages with trading partners or not. So B2B, is it a B2B integration scenario or not? Based on these answers to the questionnaire, the tool is calculating the integration technology or a combination of technologies with the best fit according to the specified requirements. The developer can take the recommendations or deviate from it and choose another option. Finally, the instance of a specific integration technologies can be selected. And with that, the technology decision is done and also documented and can be used for analytics purposes. With that, I will come to the next point, and I would take over to my colleague Tusha, who would provide you a deep dive demo.
Thank you, Gabriela. You can stop sharing. I will share the screen. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for a great introduction to the tool, Gabriela. My name is Tushar Pradhan. I'm part of the same team as Gabriela, which is Integration Product Management. So here you see the tool that we were talking about on its landing page. It has 4 key areas, if you can see, which is request, analyze, configure, and settings. We are going to look at this tool from the bottom up. So settings is where SAP has provided by default all the ISAM configuration, all the ISAM settings that is required for configuring your system. But the beauty of this tool is that we do not restrict ourselves only to the artifacts and the out-of-the-box ISAM settings that exist today, but for each of these settings, you have an ability to create your own specific artifact, which could be integration domain, integration style, so on and so forth. So if you look from bottom up, if I look at the integration domain, then out of the box, we are provided with cloud to cloud, cloud to on-prem, on-prem to on-prem, thing to cloud, and so on and so forth. I can further deep dive into it and see that, say, for example, if I go to cloud, then at the next level, from an integration style perspective, it supports data integration as well as process integration. So it allows me to really have a comprehensive details for the ISAM methodology. But today, you also have an ability or a new domain, which a lot of customers are talking about, is social to user or meta to user. So if that is something that is being practiced at your organization, even though it is not provided standard out of the box, you have an ability to create that along with the details and then use it further in your integration assessment. Same I would go with respect to integration styles, where you can really have the different integration styles which are provided by ISAM, which is process integration, data integration, user integration, thing integration, analytics integration, and cross use case integration. But again, at this step as well, you can create more if it is required. And then I can go deep dive into process integration, for example, and get associated use case patterns, which is A to A, application to application, B to B, business to business, B to G, business to governance, and master data integration. So as you can see, at each level, you are going one level deeper down from integration domain to integration style to use case patterns, which I can go over here. And then I see the details of the different use case patterns provided by out of the box as a part of the standard ISAM methodology. I can go further into the integration areas and then further into the different key characteristics. And again, this follows what ISAM gives you out of the box with respect to each of the different artifacts associated with ISAM. All these are used as a part of your configuring, analyzing, and creating your request, but this is provided out of the box. And as an integration architect, you would use this, and if required, create more to going further. The deployment models, on-prem, private cloud, public cloud, and if there is any new deployment model that is there for your organization or something that comes up, you have ability to create that as well. Last but not the least, we have provided sample out of the box requests for the questionnaires from a process integration perspective, from a data integration perspective, which will help you create the business request. And then you have a business solution request as well as an interface request. But you can absolutely go ahead and create your own request so that it is tailored specifically to what you want in your organization. And we'll see how that is being used. So next step, once this is provided as a standard and the integration architect reviews this and adds more, the main responsibility of an architect is going to be configuring the system. Now, this is again specific to your organization. So out of the box, ISAM provides you a vendor SAP, but we all know that no organization is 100% on-prem or no organization 100% cloud. In the same way, no organization is going to have 100% SAP solutions. You're going to have best of the breed of different organizations or sometimes even ingrown legacy systems, which allows you to create your own different vendors. So associated with the different products that you use in an organization, obviously you have a vendor. It could be an homegrown system. It could be something from a third party. So this is something that an integration architect does by creating a vendor. With the vendor, they go ahead and then start working on creating the different integration technologies. So by default, SAP has provided to you many different integration technologies. So you could use those or you could start creating your own integration technologies. And then you have your different applications. So if you go to your different applications, by default, there are a lot of different applications provided by SAP. About 513 different applications, or you can create your own different application profile. So for example, if you have a legacy created system, obviously SAP as an organization is not going to know anything which is local to your organization, which allows you to create your application profile, and then associated with that, you can have a vendor which you have created in the previous steps, or you could select one of the application profiles from your standard provided application vendors. So for example, it could be Amazon, it could be Azure, it could be so on and so forth, right? Then associated with each of these application profiles, which are used in your organization, you have your integration technologies, but then you have your instances. So what is an instance? Just like if you're familiar with the ECC or S4, instances are nothing but it could be dev, QA, production. So you would have different technology instances created. So you could go ahead and create this technology profile and then have an instance name. So for example, if I look at AIF over here and go to the details of that, you would see that it's a technology profile AIF, which was created earlier. We are giving it an instance name AIF, and the deployment model is on-prem. So this is a responsibility of integration architect of configuring the tool specific to your organization. Now, why is it important to configure it correctly and then keep evaluating and working on it more every over a period of time? Is because as the days progress, things change. You might have additional instance created, you might have a new homegrown system, or you might start using a different tool altogether. And in that case, you need to keep updating your configuration, which becomes the responsibility of an integration architect. Now we come to the part of request. Now here it is divided into two parts. One, is a business solution request. So a business user's responsibility is to create an interface request for an integration developer to work on it. And how is that information being sent to the integration developer is via business solution request. An interface request is where the integration developer actually works on through a series of questionnaires, which are a part of the questionnaire section within the settings, and then comes up with the interface request, which is actually then converted into a development solution. So let's go ahead and start creating a business request based on the configuration that is already existing. So as a part of the demo, I'm going to create a new request, and I'm going to call it, say, order to cash for community call. For call. I'm just going to copy this for me. So once I create this request, I'm presented with a questionnaire. Now, this questionnaire is actually coming from what you have as a part of your standard questionnaire, which was part of the settings. So which master data or transactional data will it be used? So this is going to be order to cash. To which business process? This is order to cash as the business process, and master data would be used associated with that. Then I'm being asked what is the planned go live date. Uh, I'm going to look forward towards the Thanksgiving weekend coming up. So I want to say I want to go live on the day after Thanksgiving. And from the business criticality perspective, this is of a medium priority. Then I'm with the next step. This is, remember, the responsibility of the business request. Then I have to create your source application and target application, other details. So just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say this is order to cash underscore call. My source application is going to be, for example, I'm going to pick up an on-prem HANA system. And my target application is, I'm going to say C4C, Cloud for Customer. And my style is going to be a process integration style. So with this information, basic information that as a business user, I know, I go ahead and create that, and then I go to the next step. Now here, it's very common that a business user always creates some kind of a Word document as a part of your BPP, BPDs that you create during your interface design, or it could be an Excel document. You have an ability to add that over here as well. So you could provide additional information. At this time, I want to just go ahead and proceed further and just be done with this. And then I'm done with my questionnaire. So once I have an ability to review what, as a business user, I'm sending to the integration developer with the ability to edit anything as well. And then in the end, I'm going to submit this. So at this part time, as a business user, my requirement to be sent to the interface developer is complete. And again, remember that these questionnaires are tailored based on the questionnaires that you have in your settings. And you as an organization or you as an integration architect can create your own questionnaire specific to your own needs. And you can have multiple questionnaires as well associated with different styles of integration. Now I'm going to change my hat, and I'm going to take the persona of an integration developer and go into the requirement analysis. I can go to the requirement analysis from here or from my interface request as well. And here, reading the what has been requested, I know that which integration use case pattern. So this is process integration. I'm going to go with an A to A based integration. Then I have a next step. So you can see it's a very simple step based approach which we have used over here. Now here it is asking me, do I want to apply predefined integrations delivered by SAP or partner? And I would say yes. So this is where it actually goes to our API business hub, api.sap.com, one-stop shop for all your APIs and your standard content for you to evaluate and use as a part of your integration development, making it much faster from a time to value and a much higher ROI. And level of transformation, I'm going to say it is going to be a simple transformation looking at the request that has been sent to me. Do I want to benefit from accelerated interface and mapping development from B2B? I know that this is an A to A scenario. This is not B2B. So I'm going to say no on this one. Going further, from an integration content perspective, I'm going to go create. Now, this is where it is going to go to our API business hub. and pick up all the details, all the content that is there on API Business Hub, whether it is created by SAP or whether it is created by our partners for you to see. So I'm going to look specifically from, say, sales perspective, because this is order to cash, and my target is going to be C4C for customer. So I'm going to look for the standard content from sales perspective for C4C. So I'm going to pick up, say I want to pick up account overview, and I want to use one more iFlow for alerts get perspective. So these are the two iFlows from API Business Hub, which I want a part of my integration tool. I can select more as well, but for the sake of the demo, I will select two and I will import it over here. So with these two selected, I go to the next step, which is the connectivity option. And it is asking me whether there is going to be a protocol conversion from source system to a target system. And yes, there will be some protocol conversion, so I want to take care of that. Do you want to manage multiple trading partners? This is an A to A scenario, so obviously I'm not interested in trading partner management. And what type of connector does it require? So I'm going to select application connector and a technology connector. Um, and then I proceed to the next step, which is monitoring and operations. Do I want the business users to monitor integration scenario at runtime? I would say yes. And do I want to forward technical errors to the receiver? Absolutely. If there are errors, they should be sent back. And with this information, and again, remember, this questionnaire is coming from what SAP has provided standard, but you can override it with your own custom questionnaire as well. With that, I do done. And then I go to my technology selection. At this point, I have an ability to review what has been selected. And at any point, if anything needs to be changed, I can do that as well. Or then I go to my technology selection. And I can see that I have 100% fit with the use of SAP Integration Suite, which is cloud integration and application interface framework. So this is giving me a fit ratio as well. And with that, I go my select technology. And you can see here, it is already selected that AIF and Integration Suite. So Integration Suite will use 57.14%. AIF is going to be used for 42.86%. Now I'm going to select the associated instance. Remember this was done by our integration architect, where they configured the instance in your configure step associated with each of these particular different applications. At this point, if I feel that there is something more which is required as well, I can do that as well, which is overriding what has been provided as a part of the recommendation. But at this point, I'm comfortable with what is being provided, and I'm selecting these two, and I'm submitting this particular completion of request. So it takes me back to the main place, and I can see that this particular is now in a status completed. So as an integration developer, I have analyzed the business request and I have completed this, and actually developer is now going to go ahead and start making these changes and doing this development as a part of your integration suite in your CPI environment for that matter. Changing the hat, now I'm going to go into the analyze mode. So as a manager or an executive level, if I want to really understand how integration is used within my organization at a holistic level, at a bird's eye view level, then I have provided different data for different options from an integration area perspective, from integration policies perspective, from your application overview perspective. So here, if I go into the integration policies, I'm able to see what are the different cross use cases being used, what is the different integration services being used for that one. And then if I go to the application overview over here, not able to, yeah. So here I can see that your target application and your source application is provided. Now, this is all configured as a part of your configured setting by an integration architect. And then, for example, if I select over here, then I can see that uh, this is the scenario where there's a connection between my supplier and SAP S4HANA. And then, so you can as a manager or at an executive level, you'll be able to see how and where integration is used for what kind of different integration use case patterns. I can go into the integration technology overview. So you can slice and dice this data in a different format. So at a domain level, at a style level, at a key characteristic level. So for example, at a domain level, if I look, then AIF is being used and it is supported, and then it is used at a cloud to on-prem scenario, and then it is giving me these details over here. If I go at a style level, then I can see how it is being used, where it is being used, and go further and dig deep down further. From a key characteristics level, if I see over here, then I have ability to see at a metadata management level. I can see at a connectivity level where AIF is being used, for example, or Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway, it is being used, and where it is being used from a technology connector perspective, or I can see it from an integration use case perspective, or I can see it from a monitoring and operations perspective. So as you can see, at each of these levels, you are able to really configure your settings from an analyze and details perspective, so that you are able to slice and dice and see how integration is being used in your area. So that is what the integration assessment tool version as it exists today. We are working on making a lot of modifications and a lot of upgrades to this, such as data integration capability, and Gabriela will cover the roadmap section of it. But I hope this demo was helpful to you to really understand what this tool does and what capabilities it has. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing and hand it over to Gabriela. If there are questions, please put it in the chat window, or we can answer it after the session. So Gabriela, for the roadmap section to you. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope you can see my screen again.
Yes, we can.
Thanks for letting me know. So regarding the roadmap, so we have different topics.
Can you zoom it to full screen? We can see your whole desktop.
Oh, stop.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So what we have on the roadmap so far for the integration capability is the following. So it is very important to have an update of our content that we are providing, all this pre-delivered content, and therefore we need a lifecycle support to update this content accordingly. Therefore, this is on the roadmap very, very important. And with that, the customers will get an update that a change is necessary for a pre-shipped content, and a customer can then actively start to get this update also in own custom content, not only in the content that hasn't been changed. And with that, customers can be able to really keep all the predefined technology recommendations, the integration technologies, the upcoming styles, and so on, up to date as it is necessary. With that, when this is available, we will have also a new integration style, the user integration style, as I've said it already. So this is one of the basic integration styles and necessary, for example, for use case patterns as user interface integration, mobile integration, or also chatbot integrations. Then we will have also all this will be available or it's planned to be available in the first quarter of next year. Then we will have also pre-delivered content, guiding content for SAP customer experience. This will be available, and we will start to offer you some standard APIs. The first set of standard APIs will be just to read business solution requests and interface requests. So this is what we have so far on the roadmap. And with that, we can switch to our last, the key takeaways, the summary. So the summary is it's very important. The SAP integration strategy aims that an end-to-end business process integration can be delivered for intelligent enterprises. The integration assessment capability, the new capability, is a tool-based approach of the ISM methodology, and it's part of the standard and premium edition of Integration Suite and the CPA. With the integration assessment capability, customers can be able to define, execute, and also document an enterprise integration strategy. And it's an open framework, so it's it's technology and vendor agnostic, and customers can create their own recommendations and also include third-party applications and technologies. And with that, it helps you to turn your enterprise integration strategy into reality. So it's not only PowerPoint, can really establish a governance in your company. You can start to create an integration strategy, and that's it. So that's now part of the Integration Suite. And I would like also to provide you, just before the Q&A, probably some links to starts. So here I've listed a white paper, the Integration Strategy white paper, a very short CIO guide, but we have also the long one with more details. 1 second. Then the public page where you find information on the ISAM methodology and also our SAP community. We have the documentation with a lot of details how to work with the ISA integration assessment capability. You can try it also out if you don't have any subscription with a trial. And for our first start, we have also Discovery Center mission available under SAP Discovery Center, a new mission where you get all the links, all the information, and first steps how to work with the integration assessment. And we will also have a hands-on session in our TechEd in the next 2 weeks, November 15th, 16th. If you have interest, the session IN 262, it's on integration assessment using the ISAM methodology. And it's the session owner is Tusha. If you want to say more, we can do this probably later in the Q&A. So this is I wanted to mention, and with that, I just go back to my slide for questions and answers and open this last part of our session.
Please post your questions on the chat. Thank you. I see Raghuya answered most of the questions.
Let's give people another couple of seconds to post questions.
Sure.
And if not, we can wrap it up. Cool. So thank you for a great SAP Community Call. Thank you all for attending. The recording will be available in the SAP Community YouTube channel together with the presentation. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks.